In today's video, I'll show you how to apply eVisa for India. If you're international travel with the sole objective of visiting India for recreational, sightseeing, casual visit to meet friends, relative. So it's a long list. You can go through this eligibility to know under what condition you can apply for eVisa. Typically, if you have recently acquired citizenship of another country, you don't have time to surrender your passport or get OCI, or you have a newborn who is a foreign national, you have to travel at a very short notice, then in that case, you can apply for eVisa if you meet this eligibility. Now, eVisa, the process is quite simple. You apply online where you upload your photo and your passport page, that is your country passport page, and then you pay the eVisa fee online through your credit, debit card or payment wallet. Most of the credit card or debit card, Visa card will be able to process your eVisa fee online. Then you get this electronic travel authorization and this comes to your email. You don't have to send your passport for stamping. You don't have to visit any service agency like BLS. It comes online, and then with that eVisa, you'll be able to fly to India. The typical turnaround time is 3 days. However, I know people who have got even within 10 hours of applying for the eVisa. So depending on the time of the day you're applying, you could see that happening pretty much quickly or within this 3 days if application is filled correctly. All that I'm showing in this video, I'll share the link here in the description. So make sure you go and check this description for link. And also you must always go to the government website to check fee and latest update. So you get your electronic travel authorization, it will have the validity date. That is when that got approved. From that day, your number of days starts. So even if you have not given a firm date, a tentative date, and you want to fly earlier, when you get that approved from that day, anytime you can fly to India. I hope this helps you. This section is often ignored, so I'll just go over this quickly. This is the sample eVisa application. I'll show you how the entire application is getting filled with minutest detail. Then when it comes to the eVisa filing, this is where you will click to go to the application process. If you have filled in partially, you can come and resume here. So you have started here, you will get the application reference number. With that, you can come back and start from where you left, coming here. So it's important that you save when you do your eVisa application. Then to verify payment of eVisa fee, you can come here. If you want to print eVisa application, this is the place. To check your visa status, this is the place. As I said, in some cases as less as 10 hours, people have got eVisa. And then if you want to re-upload data, this is the place. So a lot of time people are figuring out. So I just wanted to cover this initially. Now, once you click on apply here for eVisa, you come to this page. Here you choose the nationality. I'm choosing Canada here. So you see, if you have a defense, military, security, police background, serving retired, or hold an official diplomatic passport, please note that you are not eligible for eVisa for India. So you can go through this. I'm clicking OK and then OK. Then you will select the passport, port of arrival, where you would be arriving in India. That place you will select, and then you enter date of birth, your email ID. Again, you re-enter the email ID, and in the visa service, you have following option. As I showed the table, the fee varies and the timeline varies. You see here, e-tourist visa for only 30 days, e-tourist visa for 1 year. So depending on what you're applying for, the fee will vary. Typically, if it is just 30 days, and 30 days is from the time it gets approved. So if it is getting approved today, from today onwards, you can fly anytime to India within next 30 days and you can come back. So a lot of people have question when it comes to OCI, that while you are in India, can you apply for OCI with eVisa? The answer is no. If you want to surrender your passport, India passport in India, you can do that. But you have to be mindful that while you're traveling, you may end up spending 2 to 3 days in this process if it does not happen in one day. I made a detailed video. You can go and check that out. Now, depending on what you choose, for example, I'm choosing e-tourist visa. It prompts me all the following activities are permitted. However, select the primarily purpose from the following. So you'll have to select that part from this list. Once that is made, come down, expected date of arrival. So you need not have a firm date. It is good to give the tentative date. And as I said, if you get your e-visa before the tentative date, you can still fly once you have your approved visa. Once the expected date of arrival is entered, you enter this captcha, and then after you click I have read the instruction and click continue, you'll be prompted for the passport page containing your personal particular. Depending on how your passport is, whether all the information is on one page, like in Canada, it's everything in one page. If you see the India passport, it has two different page where the last page has the address and family detail. In that case, you will have to attach both pages depending on what passport you have, depending on your country. Now this application form opens, and here the port of arrival, what you have selected, shows, and then you also get this temporary ID. This will allow you to log in case you log out in between and continue from where you have started. As you go with the application, make sure to save and continue. And if you want to exit, you can save and temporarily exit. In this applicant detail section, exactly as it is given in your passport. For example, I have Canadian passport, exactly as it is given. Surname will be entered here, given name will be entered here, and then have you ever changed your name? If yes, you will have to click this box. If not, you leave as it is. Then you select the gender, town, city of birth. That will be there in your passport. If you're from India, it will be written on your India passport, which you have not surrendered in case you have recently acquired your other country's citizenship. Then your citizenship or national ID number. If you're applying for your newborn child, then in that case, you will not have other than passport. You can write NA, that is not applicable. For naturalized citizenship, look at your citizenship certificate, enter that number correctly. You just can't make mistake here. Then religion, you select from the drop down. Visible identification mark, you will have to enter. This is a mandatory section. In case you don't have anything, you can write none. It is almost impossible to have no visible identification mark. Look carefully. If you don't have, then you can go for none as an option. Then your education qualification from the drop down, you select the closest one which matches. Then did you acquire nationality by birth or by naturalization? You will select this from the drop down, and when you select naturalization, your previous nationality region is asked, so you will make that selection. I'm making India as the selection here. Then respond to the question, have you lived for at least 2 years in the country where you are applying for visa? I have selected yes. Come down. Here you will enter your passport number, place of issue, date of expiry, all straight out of your passport. In my case, I am referring to Canada passport. You will refer to your nationality. And in case you have dual nationality, dual passport, then in that case, you will fill this part. If not, you will just respond no and then save and continue. Here in this present address section, you will enter the detail of your current address. I am in Canada, so I will be entering the Canada detail, and I am matching everything as per the driving license, how the address shows. Same thing I am populating here as it is. So that way, in case there is any validation to be done, the details match. Enter the house number. If it is street, enter that. All these fields are mandatory. Village, town, city, country. I'm selecting Canada. Then I am in Ontario. So I select that and then enter the postal code, phone number and mobile number. Both are mandatory. So make sure you're not leaving anything blank. What I did was I entered my number and my wife's number, and that way this field was not left blank. If you don't have two numbers, you can match the same number in both the field, and that should work without any issue. Then email address comes as it is from what I had filled earlier. Same thing is reflecting here. And then in my case, I chose permanent address to be same. If it is different, then you have to enter the permanent address accordingly. So make sure you make no mistake here. Enter the details correctly. So once I check same address, then we come to the family detail, and here parents detail gets entered, father, mother detail. If it is for the newborn, it will be you, father and mother, whose detail will get entered here. And in case if it is for naturalized citizen who is applying for eVisa, then in that case, you will enter your parents' detail and make sure you're making no mistake. It must match with any of the government valid ID. So make sure you're making the right entry. And if you are a foreign national, then of course, same thing goes for you also. Make sure you're entering the correct detail, name, nationality. Then if you had previous nationality, you enter that. As I said, if you have become naturalized citizen and you are applying for your child, in that case, you will have to select the nationality here. If not, this is not a mandatory section, as you can see. Then place of birth, country of birth, both gets filled for father and mother. Then if it is a minor, in that case, the marital status, you would just select single. And if it is adult, based on what the situation is, you will make the selection. Now, if you choose single, then you see what happens. And if you choose married, then what happens? In case of married, it will be spouse detail which will come. So let me first show single. And you see here, the question is where your parents, grandparents, that is paternal, maternal, both side, Pakistan nationals or belong to Pakistan held area. If the answer is yes, then you have to enter the detail. If it is no, you just select no, and then that detail will go. If you select married, in that case, you will have a different section coming up, that is spouse detail. You'll enter spouse detail, nationality. If spouse had previous nationality, then you will enter that detail, place of birth, country, region of birth, and then same question, where your parents, grandparents, Pakistan nationals or belong to Pakistan held area. So if it is yes, you will select the yes as the response. And in that case, you'll have to fill in additional detail. I'm not going in there. Once you select no, as it is my case, I leave it here. So depending on the applicant's marriage status, if you go for divorcee, then it just takes that information and you don't get any additional form to fill. I've selected married here and then enter the spouse detail. In your case, you choose whatever the option is. In your case, accordingly, you fill the detail. And then here, the response in my case is no. Then let's come down. Professional occupation detail of applicant. So from this present occupation section, you will choose the closest one to which you are. If you are unemployed, select unemployed. If you are in a private service, then you select that. If it is others, then you can make that selection and then specify what that other occupation is. Go through each of this list and choose the closest one. If you choose Air Force, Defense, then you would have seen at start, you will not be able to apply for eVisa. So enter whatever in your case is. I'm selecting private service, then employer name. If it is your own business, you enter that detail, your designation, address. Make sure you're giving complete address, including the postal code, and make no mistake here. It's a mandatory field. Then company's phone number. If you're self-employed, based on your selection, you can give your phone number. There's no harm in that. And then past occupation, if any, you go and select from this list. So if you have been always in private service, you just keep as it is. I'm showing private service here. And then this is not a mandatory section. I am leaving as it is. Or were you in military, semi-military, police, security organization? My response here is no. You will have to select your response accordingly. And then after filling all the detail, you have to save and continue. If any of the form has not been filled, you will be prompted to fill that detail, or it will log you out. You will have to log in and then enter everything. So as you keep doing, make sure you save and continue to the next page. In this section, type of visa automatically shows up, and I had selected for 30 days. If you have selected for 1 year, then it will show up accordingly, and accordingly, when you're going to pay the fee, it will reflect based on what you have chosen. Place to be visited. So you will enter the location name. For example, Bangalore I'm visiting, so I will enter Bangalore. And then if you're visiting any other place along with this, you will make entry to that location also. Have you booked any room in hotel, resort, etc. through any tour operator? You will have to choose your response. In my case, it is no. And then duration of visa, it shows up what you had selected initially. Number of entries, here automatically it shows double. Port of arrival in India, it shows Bangalore. And if you have any exit place already known, you can make that place selected. In my case, I'm selecting Bangalore as the exit. Have you ever visited India before? My response here is yes. And then here entering the address. of the place where it was visited, city previously visited in India. So address, as I said, make no mistake if you are making this entry, and then city previously visited in India, enter those details with commas. For example, Bengaluru, Mysuru, Hampi. So whatever location has been visited, that gets entered. If you're choosing 1 year visa, then the form looks little different. You can see here detail of purpose, meeting friends, relative. Here you'll enter the detail of friend, relative, their detail, then the address, state, district, phone number, all these mandatory details. So once this is entered, you will select the exit port here from the drop down. I'm keeping Bangalore as it is. Then once all these things are filled, you will come down. Previous visa, currently valid visa detail. Have you ever visited India before? Once you choose the response, you will enter. If you have said yes, then enter the address and the city previously visited in India, as I showed little earlier. If you were Indian citizen earlier and this is the first time you're applying for e-visa, then your response here will be no. So once you make that selection, you see all other details are gone and you just need to enter these details. If you were not Indian and you are a foreigner visiting India, in that case, once you select yes, you'll have to fill all the detail what was shown in the forms. So here I have selected no for the first trip as foreigner after acquiring naturalization. When you see has permission to visit or to extend stay in India previously been refused, the response here is no. If you select yes, then of course there are other things which will follow. So here once no is selected, other information, if you have visited any country in last 10 years, you'll have to enter those details. So you can see here, I've entered the countries and give all the countries you have visited. It may be little time consuming, but make sure you're filling in all detail. Then have you visited SAARC country except your own country during last 3 years? You'll have to select the response, yes or no. I've selected no. And then comes reference name in India. So if you have parents, I'm sure you would be giving that detail. If not, if it is friend, make sure that detail gets entered and they are aware of your travel just in case some verification or checking happens. All these are mandatory section, reference name, their address, completely you have to give state, district, phone number, mobile number, reference name in Canada. Again, you can give your friend's name or someone who can give reference for you, their address and phone mobile number. Once you save and continue, you will come to this section where you'll have to choose a response. Here, all my response are no. So once that is done, click on the acknowledgement and then come down, save and continue. Here, if you're not ready with your photo, you can do this later. You can note down the temporary application ID as I showed earlier, and then you can come and do this when your photo is ready. Now, don't make any mistake here. The guidelines are very clear. The format has to be JPEG, size minimum 10 KB and maximum 1 MB. The minimum dimension are 350 pixel by 350 pixel height. And then recent front facing photograph with white background to be uploaded by applicant. Do not crop the passport image to use it as a recent photograph. Upload clear front facing photograph with preferable white light colored background. The application is liable to be rejected if the uploaded photograph are not clear and as per specification. Now I'll show you how you can validate that the photo what you're uploading is to the correct specification. First of all, try to take photograph only at a professional studio. They will do as per the required specification. Just show them what is required and they will do the needful. Don't try this at home. It may save few pennies here and there, but eventually it may result in not getting visa approval. So get from a good professional studio, show them this specification and they will make sure that the specification matches. Now, when you have your photo on any of the folder like I'm showing here, you will get to know what type that photo is. So you see here, it says JPEG and PNG. So this PNG file will not get selected if you're trying to upload. Secondly, if you look at the size, there are 3 size variation. This is 4 MB, approximately 5 MB, and this is in KB 473 and 67 KB. So if you remember the requirement, minimum size and maximum size 10 KB to 1 MB and format was required as JPEG and then minimum dimension 350 pixel by 350 pixel height. So how to check this part? I'll show you a very simple method. I use canva.com, which is very user friendly, and the link will be there in the description for you to go and check this out. On this website, you have this option custom size. Once I click here, you see I can give 350 pixel by 350 pixel. That's the size what is required. Now, this is the minimum size. I can also increase this to the size what is wanted. So let me keep it 600 by 600. So the dimension matches as per the requirement. You can keep it at 350 by 350. I'm keeping at 600 by 600 and then create new design. So you see here, this is the square shape what is required. Now, just upload the photo what you have. You see here, once this is uploaded here and I press on the photo comes here, and this photo is getting checked for the size. If you're taking this photo from a photo studio, that person will do a professional job. You don't have to come and do all those things what I'm showing. And this is one way to check for the dimension. So once this dimension is known, now if the format is not JPEG, if it is in any other format photo, all you need to do is go click on share, click on download, and then here file type, select JPEG, and then click download. Now this is the downloaded image, and when I take the cursor here, it shows dimension 600 by 600, which is more than the minimum, and this should work. Once you have ensured that it all matches, this should, if you have taken from professional studio, they will do a good job. And once that is done, you can just come and upload this file. What I showed this Canva tool method is just for you to check if it meet the requirement and matches, and you must always take photo from a professional photo studio. Once you go choose the file and upload, click upload photo, you will get the uploaded photo like this. And when you see this box, you can just drag this to the corner to make it even, and you can see the photograph here. So you can make that adjustment like this. Once this is done, just come down and say crop and save. And if you think the upload is good, save and continue. If not, you can upload the image again, or if you want to temporarily exit, you can do that also. So let me click on save and continue. On this page, this is where the documents will get uploaded. Here it is the copy of passport page containing personal particular. Again, there are requirements given. All document uploaded by applicant, including business card, invitation letter, must be in English language, failing which eVisa application would be liable for rejection. In case you were traveling for things like event, seminars, which were shown initially, in that case, you would require all this details. If you're traveling now as a foreign citizen, earlier you were Indian, in that case, you will not require all this additional document. And then file format has to be PDF. So I'll show you how can you convert your passport image to PDF in case you have that as photo. So the maximum size has to be 300 KB. This is the restriction. And passport upload, photo page of passport containing personal detail like name, date of birth, nationality, expiry date, etc. to be uploaded by the applicant. Photo page of passport uploaded should be of the same passport whose details are provided in passport detail section. The application is liable to be rejected if uploaded document is not clear, legible, and as per specification. So make sure you scan this on a good scanner. You can, if you have scanner at home, get this done at home. If you don't have, you can go and get this done. Say if you're in Canada, you have public library where they have some good machines. You can get the scan done and you can get that converted in PDF when you're sending it to your email ID. If not, you have in JPEG the image, I'll show you how you can convert and how you can modify and resize to make sure the size matches. So let me show you this part. What I'm showing is what you need to do only if it is not in PDF. Come to Canva, and on Canva you see this doc. Once you click on doc, you can go to the doc. So these are all pre-made template. You need not go for this. Click on this, and now I will. And now here we'll upload the passport. Just come to upload the passport. So you see the passport is here. And then once I click here, it comes to the document here. So once you have this passport here, just go to share, download, PDF, standard, shows by default. And then you just go and download this. Your country has 2-page information, then you'll have to upload. I'm showing for Canada. Once you download this passport, so this is the download, and you see this is 444 KB, whereas the restriction is for 300 KB. Now to achieve this 300 KB, just search for Compress PDF. You have multiple options. If you have Adobe, that's the best to go. If not, you have all these options. So let me choose this, choose the file, upload, and now compress. So this 444 KB has been compressed to 148 KB download. Now you see this downloaded one is 145 KB, which can be uploaded. Once it is selected, upload document, and it shows status as uploaded. Make sure the images are clear, and once everything is validated, I have verified the document are uploaded as per requirement, then you go ahead and confirm. Once you confirm, you will get an application ID. Make sure you note it down for you to track your status of application. Then you go to the payment page, where it's simple. I will not go into the payment part of it. You enter your credit or debit card detail, and then once the payment goes through, your application is now completely submitted. You just wait for the eVisa to come on your email. Once that comes on your email, it will have details like application ID, your passport number, application status as granted. Then it will have a ETA number, your nationality, visa type, service name will be e-tourist visa, and then number of entries will be written, whether single entry or multiple entry. In case you're going for 1 year, you might get multiple entries. Then it will also have date of issue of ETA. So the day what is mentioned here, from that day your e-visa is approved, and you can plan your travel anytime from that day. It will also have visa processing fee detail and the validity period, all those things mentioned. Whatever you had filled, same detail will be filled in this e-visa form. As I said before, you don't require any stamping on your passport. This e-visa, what you have on your email, you can take a printout, or you can show this on your mobile to the immigration officer, and they would have all the record with them. So that's the process. It's so simple. And in terms of timeline, as I said, usually 3-day turnaround is the timeline. However, I have also seen people getting within 10 hours of applying. So friends, I hope you find this video useful. There are many other videos, and also on my website, I have organized everything for you to go and check other informative details. Thanks for watching.